Kings and queens and everything in between, welcome back to the channel. This is Dude, and in this video I want to talk about video games. I want to talk about, especially when it comes to what has come out as of recent with certain video games. And the one video game that I'm really excited for right at the current moment is Tekken 8. I'm excited for Tekken 8. I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. Those are two video games that are on top. And rumor has it that Gearbox is prepping up for Tiny Tina Wonderlands 2, and it's going to, and they're prepping it to be an actual franchise, an actual separate franchise from the Borderlands series, which could be good news, because Tiny Tina Wonderlands has a bit of an issue when it comes to like in-game content. Like there's no real type of like, there's no real rhyme or reason to advance your level or to even try like the different chaos levels, you know, the different higher tier chaos levels, so then you can get higher loot. That does it, like, and then what? Like once you get that higher loot, and then what happens then? It just comes off as kind of like pointless and silly. But all in all, the whole experience of it is just fun. It's just based off of Borderlands 2 DLC, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, which was a very fun DLC, a part of the Borderlands, a part of Borderlands 2 bunch of DLC. That was the best one out of all of them, and I'm not gonna, can't lie on that. My honest humble opinion of that is that was the best one of that DLC. But I want to talk about what is to come within the wrestling games as well. So WWE is already working on, from what they said, with the success of 2K22, 2K23 is already in the works, which I want to discuss in this particular video, of why 2K22 is not as great as people will make it seem. Because there are a lot of things that they should have like already fixed. Should have already had like at 110%, because they were given 2 years to make it absolutely perfect, and they just it's not even like they kind of fell short. They fell short by a grand margin. And then the more that you play it, the more that you see, as much as they said that they had every little thing and everything tweaked out and everything that's tuned out and everything like that, it didn't. It just doesn't. One mode in particular that was just one of the biggest letdowns, besides my GM, because I'm gonna talk about that later. But at this moment in time, I want to talk about My Rise. Now, My Rise, from what they were telling us, from what they were giving us, which they didn't give us they didn't give us full details, which is kind of like their trick, which is kind of their thing when it comes to their games in the 2K. It's kind of their trick to just sell you enough to get your mouth watering, but then as soon as you get the end result is never the full thing of what they said. It's never fully advertised everything that they said, or it's just not present at all. Like a prime example I can bring up is the screenshot that they showed, and for advertising 2K18, right? Where you get to walk around backstage and they have the treadmills in the back area, right? In the back rooms. And from what we thought was that we were going to get the same treatment as we got from SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. We thought we was going to get to be able to run on the treadmills and use them. It was just a back room, an extra back room. And I was like, y'all are such, yeah, that was just like, that was kind of like the one of the worst things that they could ever do was just kind of like, was pretty much say, now we're going to give it to you, but not really. We're just going to show you a picture and we're going to have the room where it could be at, but not beyond that. You're not going to be able to use anything. No. Interactable environments? What? That's crazy. Like, it just felt like it fell short. But 2K22, My Rise is I want to say the pinnacle of one of the worst modes that they ever had. Like, as much as y'all want to talk trash about 2K20, and this is coming from like other people's opinions, right? And a little bit of mine, because I can see from their viewpoint. I see from their viewpoint and from my viewpoint. With Trey and Red, there was a structured storyline. They had an objective. They wanted to get into WWE and get there. We did. However, here was what's wrong with their structuring. It's the fact that we were already in the Hall of Fame already, and what we were doing was just reflecting on what we've done already, which is kind of like, that's different, that's odd. I don't like this at all. Like, I didn't like that premise of it. I was more leaning on 2K19's telling of the story, where you're starting off from the bottom and then you work your way up. You're going on independent shows and everything like that, and you work your way up. 2K22 did not do that as much as I wanted it to. Like, we started off in high school gyms. Like, the same way that they sold My GM, you start off with high school gyms and then you just work your way up. It's the same way I wanted it to be for My Rise, but it wasn't. We already started off like we were pretty much given we're given the similar backstory where a representative of ours, whether it be if you're the indie star, you got trained by Booker T recommended you. If you were an actor, your agent put you up to, pretty much put you up to wanting to pursue a wrestling career. If you were the pro football player, it was your coach kind of pushing you to do. You get the whole premise. You get the idea. You get it. And that's the problem, is that every single one of them had the same formula where, and then the choosing of face and heel doesn't necessarily affect your gameplay so much, because I beat My Rise. I beat My Rise with one of my characters, with my female character. She was a high-flying indie star. Do I want to play through it? Do I want to play through as another female, but as like a pro athlete? Do I want to play as a like the question that I ask myself? Do I want to play through that again as a female? Like as a female, let me see, female MMA star, female pro athlete, a female actor or actress. Do I want to play through the female side and just pick a different background? Will there be any significant differences to me picking these things? Will I have a different branching storyline than the last time? Or will I be facing the same people that I faced when I was an indie star? Because I honestly I seen everybody pick different routes. Besides indie star, there was a YouTuber that picked pro athlete. There was someone that picked MMA star. They all went down the same path, got the same results as if you would pick any of the backgrounds. Like, from what 2K was selling us was the fact that every background had different outcomes. You had a different path, different storylines, different everything all together. Yet every time I start, I'm still talking to R-Truth. I'm still talking to R-Truth about the mix-up between Monday Night Raw. Still have to fill in for the people that got lost in, for the people that got stuck in Europe because of the weather. I'm still talking to Beth Phoenix regardless. I'm still doing the same exact things as the last storyline. And I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through the same exact thing hoping for something different when there isn't anything and there's anything significant. Nothing different, nothing significant to give me a different outcome. I've beaten the whole game. Like, I legit beaten the whole game. What is there left? What's left? Like y'all tell me in the comments, what is left after you beat it with your main character? What is left after that? What can we do? There's no end game. There's no trying to build a tag team and go on from there. There's no building a faction. There's no going after mid-card titles. There's only going after the main title, and then that's it. You don't have a story anymore. That's just it. You're done. That's it. And if you missed, and this is one of the key things too, if you missed any type of storylines in the PC, that's just on you. That's just it. You just missed those matches, and you can't go back to complete them unless you start all the way over. And I do not want to do that, because I'm going to get the same exact thing as I got with my other previous character that I created. In other words, give us a lot more freedom than what you gave us. Give me the option to run around like 2K18. Give us the option of being able to use the equipment like in Here Comes the Pain. Give us the options to be able to build relationships and have those relationships affect our career paths like any of the older games from back in the day. Like, let me pull one out of the top of my head. PlayStation 1, WWF SmackDown was one of the startup games, one of the early games that did that, where your actions shaped up your character, which is what I want, which was what we were looking for, what we wanted, which is probably what y'all gonna do with the RPG that WWE is working on right now. WWE is working on the RPG. That's one of the game things I want to talk about too. Is that they are working on an RPG at the current moment, and I'm seeing how that works. I'll just wait and see how that works. Okay, but because my rise is empty. It's an empty shell of what of previous my career's road to WrestleManias once were. And as sad as it may seem, I would like to keep the concept of creating your character and starting from the bottom and making your way all the way up to the top, and maintaining, if you stay there, having different storylines while you're up there. After you go through your main storyline, you can have other storylines that you can do afterwards. Not just chase the title, not just defend the title every single night. I want connections outside of the ring. That's what I want. That's what I want, more of a deeper storyline than just inside the ring. I want outside the ring stuff. I want a lot more to do than just wrestle. Is that too much to ask for? It's not. It shouldn't be. You had 2 years to do it, and you still didn't give us that. So that's on that. My GM mode. The falseness of it. Not only the falsification of it, the emptiness. Going back to that word, emptiness. WWE2K22 is empty of content. It is. If we're gonna be honest, it's empty of content, of a lot of it. But my GMO is one of the high atrocities of this, and that is because when we got it, the base game before all of the updates and everything like that, when they added the tag team titles, and that's it, no mid-card titles at all. When they got the tag team titles in there, right, the men's and the women's, which I'm like surprised at, whatever. When they did this, all right, when we first got the game, we didn't have anything. We had one main men's title, one main women's title, and like 3 matches. And then when we got to the pay-per-views, we got 2 additional matches. Like for the life of me, why would y'all do that when y'all regular shows don't even do that? But anyway, there's no real substance to it. There's nothing to my GM mode that leads me to wanting to play it even more. To come back to it and see if I can do something different. Because myself and my cousin, we played it, right? We played it. We tried to play it together. We can't play it online, so we had to improvise a little bit, and we had to call each other, right, on the phone. I called each other on the phone, and basically just walk through, like act like we're going up against each other, but we're actually going up against the computers, like the CPUs. And it was just a competition. Who can beat the CPU? We picked different shows, but it felt like we were going against each other. Anyway, it's just all. That's my GM is just wasn't exactly what they promised. It wasn't. It didn't feel like what it was back then, which is what they need to do, is just rebuild it from the ground up, and make it replayable. My Rise needs to be replayable, consistent. It needs to be a mix of Universe Mode meets My Rise meets My Career. It's just all 3 of those modes in one, and just call it My WWE. Just mix the modes together. Speaking of Universe Mode is just never going to change. It's not. No matter how many times we ask for changes, it's never going to change. Bring back the promo system. Sorry, that out of the blue didn't even get built up towards that one statement. But bring it back. Why did you take it out in the first place? It's because what you were doing with the promo system wasn't quite working out, which you could have kept that Oh, ooh, you want to know what else you can bring back? You can bring back the backstage interviews. That is so necessary for my career. No, I mean for my rise and for Universe Mode, all together. Both of those modes need that backstage. They need that backstage interview where you can make the decisions. You can even interfere in backstage interviews on the freaking which game was it? If you tell me which game had the backstage interview with Renee Young, I would love to have that back. I would love to have that back with Kayla Braxton doing the interview. Bruh, it's right there. You literally have the formula in all the older games. What y'all do is just ignore them and then freaking put out whatever you want. And it's just like, this isn't going to work. It doesn't work. It haven't worked. But apparently it got the wool over everybody else's eyes. Now that the honeymoon is over, we can start seeing things a little more clearer that 2K22 is a bit of an empty mess. Game mechanics, great. Visuals, great. That's it. That's all they have right now. And, oh yeah, my faction. Showcase mode. I did that on purpose. Because who plays it for real? Who plays my faction? Who plays it with like the severity and seriousness? Because there was a lot of things that was promised that did not actually come through in the finalization. Like online, like we had the thought that it was an online capabilities come with my faction. Or even to the point where we thought my faction was going to be another form of my rise. No, we didn't get that. We didn't get neither one of those. We got this card captors Yu-Gi-Oh! This Yu-Gi-Oh! Mess. Shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. What up? But it's just not great. Showcase mode, I'm kind of over it. I'm over showcase mode because I'm playing as the same person throughout history in matches that have already happened. I'm kind of done going through history lessons on how this person or how this era has changed everything. Like it's like no disrespect towards Rey Mysterio whatsoever. No disrespect for him. He's a GOAT. Forever. It's I don't want to play through anybody's career that was, right? That paved the way. I don't want to play through their careers. I'm sorry. Just, am I the only one out? Probably. But I don't want to do that no more. Y'all should have put more emphasis and effort onto your other modes than Showcase. Should have put in a little more effort. And this video was long. And I'm sorry, but not sorry at the same time, because this all needs to be said. 2K22 is visually appealing, but then once you start to really play it, you realize there's a lot missing. Match types, for example, another prime example. Last one for real. Match types missing greatly. Where is special referee? Where's Inferno matches? Where's casket matches? Where are the buried alive match? Where's the ambulance match? Where's the freaking where's the gimmick matches at? Because the only ones that we have so far are Heck in the Deck, Steel Cage, Money in the Bank, TLC, Last Man Standing, no Falls Count Anywhere, No Holds Barred, Iron Man, Iron Woman match. Like it doesn't. That's not you had a lot more matches in your history, and I believe in the video game y'all could be able to go buck wild with the match types. Y'all can go crazy with the match types because it's in the video game world where at the same time you can simulate. Yeah, you can simulate all to your heart's content, but at the same time, bring back these gimmick matches for those that are playing the game, that want to play it for longer than 2 months, for longer than 3 months. Trying to come up with different ways to make it more entertaining. That's you to make it endlessly fun. And you're just giving us the basic, the basics to doing that. But at the same time, there's a lot of players that don't want to do what you're supposed to do, and that is keep the games going as long as they need to. Like, keep the games going for a long time. Longevity in especially in your My Rise. Your My Rise needs longevity. Universe mode needs an upgrade. Freaking my faction needs to not happen ever again. My GM needs to be fleshed out, needs to be revamped. Showcase mode needs to be taken out, put in something else. But before I don't want to get too upset. Kings, queens, everything between. If you like what I had to say about 2K22 and the reality of it, like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Turn on your notifications for another video that is going to be coming around soonish. Oh, and by the way, I am now going to be doing videos on Twitch you guessed it, on the games that I was just disrespecting. Oh, how could I disrespect the game and then also do Twitch for the video game? Like I said, it's like there are certain, it's empty. It looks beautiful. It's there for me to pass the time. And I do like to create a lot of people. It's mostly going to be creative people that I use in my Twitch stream. So you can come by and visit if you want to. Wouldn't mind you saying hello. I would appreciate it if you did. Stuck around for it. But with that said, kings, queens, everything in between, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day and a great and fantastic rest of your year. And I shall see you the next time in the next video, which will be Saturday night. But tomorrow, I shall be on Twitch. And I shall be live on Twitch. And I shall put my channel in the description box because that's necessary. Because y'all can't find it I can't find, you can't click on it if you can't find it. But I shall see you. Peace.